Okay, hi everyone. So welcome to today's edition of the Master Blenders interview, right? Where we interview people, right, who are only rich, free, and fulfilled, right? And today is someone that I've been contacting for a long time, right, to try to get her on the interview, but she's been pretty busy, lah, right? Traveling a little bit as well, right? Miss Mimi, right, of Cryptologist, right? And thanks Mimi for coming down. Just share a little bit about what you do, right, before we begin the rest of this interview.
Yes, can. Well, hello, Mark. You sound pretty high. Okay. Okay, so my name is Mimi. So I'm from Cryptologicals. Mainly, I would say the founder of the Cryptologicals Academy and one of the trainer. So total there is two trainer in the academy right now. We have over the boot camps. I think we have hosted about almost 400 students ever since October last year. Yeah, a total cap of like about 200 students now that we have in our program.
Nice, right? And I guess the first question is like, how do you even get started into crypto, right? Well, I know your journey is like you started quite a while ago when people were still probably calling crypto, Bitcoin, and all a scam, right? So you can share a little bit about how do you even start your journey, right? And what are some of your conversations around it, right? When you skeptical, when you're afraid, like you can share a bit of how you started this entire journey of crypto investing.
Okay, so my journey was a bit unique because back then in 2017, I have a friend in KL. So they were like calling me to come to KL to check out about Bitcoin. But the fact that because last time too little information, right? That's the problem with back then, right? To 2017, 2018, too little information, you can't really find like much of things to learn. Too much information like last year, everybody's hyping about it, everybody's like in euphoria mode. Also you can't really learn much, so you need to find the middle ground in the middle to like settle to learn. So 2017 I chanced upon my friend about Bitcoin, but it wasn't like the real normal where you can actually learn with a coach. So I chanced upon this thing called Bitconnect or something. So it's a high yield investment thing. And then after that, I was like asking around, like, do you guys know anything about Bitcoin mentoring or whatever? But most of them are like doing mining or they have like all those rigs in their houses. So it wasn't really helping me to learn about blockchain at that point of time. So I was like on a wheel for 2 years, 2017 to 2019. Until 2019, I chanced upon my previous connection lah. So they were teaching me about blockchain all over again. Sit down with me and then like was holding me with like two phones, trying to get me from back then I didn't know about like cold wallet, hot wallet, or the paper wallet. So I was like, why should I transfer this from an exchange to this another address to this hot wallet and then all these kind of things. So then after that, that journey started in 2019 seriously. And then because 2019, I was like, before COVID happened, I used to also travel a lot, right? Like almost 6 times a year. So what happened was they introduced me to crypto.com. But back then, it was called MCO. If you guys remember, they rebranded. So MCO was the main exchanges that I used back then. But 2017, I was already introduced to Coinbase. Yeah, but I didn't know how to like really buy and sell at that point of time because I see, oh, Ethereum, holy coin, so fun to buy. Yeah, and then the price just go up, and then I was like, oh, it's making money. Yeah. So 2019 was the first intervention, but the very, very, very first crypto coin that I made money from wasn't even Bitcoin or Ethereum. It was Chainlink, surprisingly.
Yeah, Chainlink, right? The one that the oracle, right, of sorts. So I guess during your journey when you started crypto, right, obviously it started a bit like not sure what's going on, just right buy the hot wallet, just trying to learn, right? So what do you think at the point of time was some of your was it all smooth sailing immediately, right, to creating what you do right now? Like, let's share maybe one or two of your biggest challenges, right, you face, right, and how do you manage to overcome it for yourself throughout your journey, especially when starting out, when you're still pretty new.
Okay, for crypto market itself, right? It's really I would say it's like you entering a jungle, not just a normal jungle. I'm not saying about Singapore jungle. I'm sorry, talking about Amazon jungle. Okay. So the comparison is like that. So when I entered the space back then, I was like, what the heck is all this like staking and then yield farming, and then when I get deeper into the rabbit hole of DeFi, then you have to like not only understand what is all these terminologies that the developer is talking about, but you have to deal with plus economics. So if you don't have finance background and then you suddenly enter crypto, you're trying to understand how money actually works, money movement actually works, liquidity pools works, all that, right? You have to like slowly peel the layers first. Okay, understand that this perhaps one of the assets, for example, DeFi, right? If you want to get into it, why people actually wanted to get into DeFi in the first place. Like, well, what's the difference between when people entered the normal financial market in stocks, right? Or why do people want to talk about crypto? Yeah, so there must be a reason why it is created in the first place. So I was like more intrigued by why people want to enter the DeFi and why they are so passionate to talk about it. And then I understand from their way of thinking. And then when I get into the learning of DeFi and the rabbit hole and in depth of yield farming and all that, right? Knots, master knots. Then I understand why we should be in crypto and why blockchain is going to help us in future. So that was my starting journey lah. And then afterwards, I would say I did a lot of mistake. Okay, I did lost a lot of money. The problem with a lot of people, right, when they enter crypto, right, they think that maybe just putting or throwing $1,000, for example, like because like last year, right, like every shit coins you can find, what Elon Musk say, Dogecoin or Shiba Inu or the worst like I even invested in this coin called Calm coins, Calm rocket coins. There's such thing, on the Binance chain. So it was, but I did understand why people do that because they are trending, they are investing based on trending trends, right? Which is a good thing if you're smart and you know how to come in. But if you get lucky 1 or 2 times, you try to do it like 10 times, it cannot be done, so it's the same thing as what you do like recently this year January when people go into all the wonderland, right? What me and all that, like it can be done last year if you hold it like for 3 months 4 months with those 70,000 APY, but if you do it this year, like you can only last for 2 weeks and then you die, your whole liquidity will die. So you have to be in. Okay, so the mistake that I did last year, in the past, I would say since 2019, would be too over adventurous. That's number one. Number two is because everything is new, everything you want to buy. So it's like because it is new, everything you want to shop. It's like when you enter into a Black Friday sale, right? Everything is discounted at that point of time. When I entered, it was like 2019 market. It was like everything is cheap. Like you see coins that is below $1, you want to buy. You see anything below market cap of 500 million, you want to buy. Yeah, every single thing you want to buy. And then after that, you didn't organize it. You didn't organize all the coins. And to make it worse, it's not like stock. Stock is like if you have one Robinhood app or one CFD account, it is all in that account. Yeah, but crypto is like all over the place. There's the platform, there's the exchanges, there's your hot wallet, there's your cold wallet, and then different DeFi exchanges. Exactly. So it's like all over the place. So I think the number 2 mistake that newbies do, right, is that it's not being tracked. First of all, is either they over diversified or underutilize the tracking organization, tracking metrics for their portfolio. So because now you have to be accountable for your own statement, your own account. So everything is on you. It's like if you compare to the normal finance one, everything you leave to the bank to settle for you, just enter one app. So that's number 2 lah, this organization. And then I think number 3 would be emotional or normal, right? Emotional, like, oh my, okay, so my teacher last time, right, like they were always like, it's exciting for newbies when we got to know new coins, right? Every time when there's new project, like, hey, you should go into these new coins, so based on that, right, because everybody say you should go in, like Luna, so but then everybody die together. But when everybody dies, like, oh shit, like, so I learned that the third mistake I learned is that yes, peer pressure is one thing when you want, and the emotions that you need to control in terms of your external influencer.
Yeah.
It's actually bigger than the project that is like trying to get you into their project. You know,
Yeah.
because when you see your friends are going in, then you see people with big names are going in, and then you see institutions. How the institution also got scammed.
Yeah.
like, like the belief is like there, you know.
Mm.
So by that you follow whatever people is saying, right? So easily your emotion can just get touched because an influential person say that it's good to come in,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, but even in crypto, anything anything influential also sometimes
Yeah.
there's a lot of wreck there. Example, this year case study, a lot, you know, like all the big names. So the third mistake was that lah. So emotions, I would say over diversifying because no organization, and the first one was because the first one, what did I mention? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
really similar to what you talk about the emotion, right? Because when you invest, you just follow, right? You didn't do a research and whatnot, right?
Correct.
And I think one thing that I think made you stand out from a lot of other people just trying to, I mean, of course, everybody's here to, a lot of people are here to make money, right? But you also started to understand the people who were into the technology, right? Into DeFi, what they're passionate about it, and you actually took time to go and research and to go and talk to them about it, right? Because a lot of them just treat it as numbers on a freaking digital screen, right? And I think they didn't have that connection over there. Why I think we talk about centralization, decentralization, right? Some people love decentralization, but if it's something decentralized, right, you better make sure you take care of yourself, because it means nobody's going to take care of you. I think a lot of people still assume that there'll be insurance to take care of the positions when the Luna drops, right? When there's a freaking rug pull, right? Of course, third one, right, is of course emotions lah. And speaking of emotions, right? So I think if I'm not wrong, when we had a convo like a while back, right, you mentioned that you kinda rug pull like quite a couple of times in your journey.
Yeah,
And I
a lot of time.
the question is, how do you still mentally stay like, I got scammed, rug pulled so many times, but I'm still going to keep going, keep growing, right? And still be a great crypto investor.
How? I think because I think that the adrenaline comes because the first project is like from 3 figure I make to 27,000, right? So short time I can make with that fast money. But I'm not saying it's a quick rich kind of thing, but it's based on investment volume, in trading volume. So then after that, when like after a fifth project or sixth project, and then you see your portfolio down by, for example, for my case is 6 figure, 100K, right? It's one of the Binance chain, smart chain, one of the coins. I can't remember what coin, but I think one of the coin is, okay lah. I can't really remember the project, but it was like almost like accumulatively 100K. So then by the time you see your portfolio, when you already make so much and then you also lose so much, you tend to think, okay, how I managed to like cripple that emotions of like, instead of being sad, I think the formula is still there for you to really make money. You understand how really to like multiply from a 10 to 100 to 1,000. But losing like one time will make you just feel that, okay, since I can make the money already before, meaning using the same strategy that I did in the multiples of 10 hundreds that I did before, it's going to work again. It's just now I need to do a proper research. So I think for me, it's more based on logical factor. Emotion, of course, you will feel sad that your money like just totally lose it. But I think you don't feel too much as well because you started like very little and then you see it a lot in crypto. If like in stocks, people like really damn like put 20K of their hard-earned money. But this one is because of repetitive capital gains. Yeah, so I think that can be controlled in one way in my perspective, how I see it. So people may say gambling, I would say it's more to strategy on logical formula lah. It's like the same thing about business, right? If you know how to make 50,000 already, you will know how to make the next 100,000. Right? And then if you lose your 100,000 back, you will know how to get back to that 50,000 because you already have the steps.
Yes, yeah, I love that, right? Because I
Yeah.
mean, maybe not the best example, but in my head right now, right? Like Donald Trump, right? He actually started right growing his business to multi-millions. He lost all of it, right? And got all of it back again, right? About 2 3 years,
Yeah.
right? And I think there's similar story to that where entrepreneurs who did very well failed, but they got back way faster, right? Way bigger, right? Than when they first started the journey, right? So I love that you had that view of not from a space of like, oh shit, I can't do it, I can't make it. But hey, since I did it before, right? The only question is how can I make sure I get it again? Because the belief, right, is always there, and that's great. And so speaking of business, so I think shifting a little bit before maybe we go back to crypto again, right? There's time. So what made you decide to start your own business to help others, right, in your journey? Because easily in terms of money, you could have done it yourself, right? You can make the money, right, so and so forth. But so what made you decide to do it, right? And how's the journey like been so far for you?
Okay, I think for me, right, it's mostly like I feel that God put me in place in this position where it was destiny, number one.
Oh.
Number two is because I was very passionate about financial literacy, but I wasn't interested in other assets. But crypto was the one that I was trying to find ever since 2017, but I couldn't get a proper education. So that's number two. So then technically it came by accidental because of TikTok as well.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Because TikTok came about, and then I didn't know that people was curious about my journey back then when I started to post like a teaser, like just saying that I learned about financial literacy, and then I do this through the way on crypto investing. So it started like it was for the fun of it. Like for me at that back then, I think when I shared, it was just merely because I had fun making money. The fun was not like intentionally to I share this because I want to convert you to my beliefs. It was purely because I was just sharing my happiness.
Yeah.
It's like every content, right? For every genuine people, right? When they share, it's based on sometimes it's genuinely they want to share. Like this is the education that I want people to at least if you follow me, you get benefit to learn something. It's not just for the fun. I've made this much of money, or I've been here in this part of the world. You never been there. Poor you. Not that kind of direction. It's like
Yeah.
I share because I think many people can experience the same thing. So when I share, and then after that people start to ask, and then I'm like, okay, since people start to ask, meaning I have to step up.
Yeah.
So then after that, when I start to teach a few, and then the few became many, many become some, like so it's a ripple effect. So from there, I would say then I have to make the decision that this is not already a something to as a hobby. Yeah, you have to take it seriously because once you take it seriously, it's a responsibility really. So like everything you put on now is a responsible content. Like you cannot put it in a way to think, oh, I just put it just because I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because you are responsible to a lot of the people who actually follow you actually. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I guess the question is, you could have decided to do it for fun, continue to share for fun, but what made you like say that I'm going to take this responsibility to help other people? Like what caused that desire, right, for you to say that I would take up this responsibility? I know it's tough, I know it's going to be a bit scary, but I'm willing to do it because like why do you decide to make that decision?
I think the desire will only come if you see other people's life change. Right? I feel that once you see other people's life change, and then you're like, oh my God, I can actually impact one life. Oh no, actually 10 life. Actually, oh no, 100 life. And then when people start to give you the feedback, hey Mimi, because you helped me this and that, I managed to, use my money to fly back to Saudi Arabia to pay my school lodging fee. I managed to use this to settle down. I paid my university fees. When people start to tell you this kind of thing, then you're like, oh my God, like you are making a serious impact to the world. So from there, I see that, yes, I have a responsibility here, and people already perceive me. And I feel that like people give me that responsibility to, to make a change. And in my heart, I feel that, yeah, I think this is my direction that I need to go. So why not? But it can only last if it okay to a certain extent, right? Some people, right, when they say when they do create content because of passion, I feel that passion
only last so much.
Yes, it can run off, but it also requires hard work. And because how to put it in words, hard work is one thing, passion is one thing. Passion cannot
you can't just do things just for the
passion,
right?
Correct. You have to see, I wouldn't say result, but I would say impacts the impacts that you have done. If you see the ripple effect, then you will continue the journey. So, and for me, right, because I've been through things that are harder in life, so I feel that if this is going to come to me, this wave of hardship is going to come to me, I'm going to go through it. So it's just the spirit like for every entrepreneur to go through, like, it's going to be hard, but you still choose that pathway because the rewards is not going to come like instantly.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. For me, I feel that, like, even in crypto, the people say, oh, 2 years is fast, but you don't know, like, for that 2 years, what the hell I have put through to get there. Like, for example, for me, I put aside my marketing, like, that point of time I was like earning some money from other side hustle, right? So I put that aside to just put my full time to just learn about crypto. That sacrification people don't see. Like, just for that one whole year, I just put aside all I can do with my side hustle, but to learn about blockchain and cryptocurrency. I did that. So that was one. And then I think the external factor was also another one, like the friends that you have when you learned about a certain subject or topics that you're passionate about to ace your skill set. Like, for example, if for myself, like cryptocurrency investing, right? So I make sure every energy that I get in, like the friends that come into the circle, are the right people who do and interested to also learn with me, not just because for the sake of, if you go to her, you can actually make money. There's a lot of people like that. So you have to protect your energy also.
Two main things that stand out. Number one, right, is the word of passion, right? Something I learned, right, a while back, is that if you look at the word passion, right, and then we look at it at I think the Greek or Latin word right, not the science right, it's actually not like what you feel fun, right, or what you enjoy, right? It's actually the word passion is what you're willing to suffer for. All right. So on some level for you, right, like you're willing to suffer, right, sacrificing other areas, right, doing the hard things, right, creating impact, right, not just because passionate, yes, but not just like from a fun way, right, but from a like, this is something I've chosen, this path I've chosen, I'm going to use it to impact the people I want to. All right. And I think that's something that entrepreneurs, whether new side hustlers, right, got to learn, right, which is that passion is not just about doing what you love, right, but about choosing what you want to suffer for. And of course, again, we talk about power of environment now, right, where without the people around you, right, it's going to be a very tough, lonely journey. Like, at the end of the day, you're going to go far, right? You always need to have the right environment around. So I guess moving and with that, right, I know now we've talked about 700 students, right? We've done a lot, right, in this space, created a lot of impact. And these are my favorite questions, right, which is, what, in your opinion, right, among your students, is the differences between students that achieve the best, biggest, fastest, most sustainable results, right, versus those that, okay, I mean, they learn, but they're not at the space of where they like, or their results are still pretty average, still pretty stuck, right? What do you think are the biggest differences in your observations, right, with these two groups of students?
Desire and hunger. I would say desire and hunger, because even if you pay, for example, I think you also experience this, right? Not all paid students will actually go the same or get the same result, like how you get there, right? But the only difference between the A student, I would say the student that really ace it in your program, or even my program, for example, the one I experienced, is because they are willing to do the things that I've experienced before, right? They are willing to also put the 50-50 hard work, like 50 from you, 50 from them as well. It's not just based on because I entered this program and then yes, but gotta have that do it template for me. I just gotta like go to his schedule, okay, 10 a.m. Yeah, listen to him. But then it doesn't really resonate into their lifestyle, right? It cannot be done that way. Even in crypto, even in investing, it must be resonate in like your lifestyle. Like technically your lifestyle. Like for me, like it's normal for me to like every day just check out the news here and there about crypto. But to some people, it's like, it's a chore. Yeah. So lifestyle is one thing. And then second, I would say discipline. Discipline is to me is very, very important. It beats motivation. It beats motivation. So discipline is very, very top number one, I would say, to stay longer in the game.
Nice. And I think there's one quote that I learned, I picked up, right? Not so from who, which is that the most important time to do it, right, is when you don't feel like doing it, because you can't expect to have motivation every single minute, every single day, right? Eventually, it's gonna be tired, it's gonna be stressful, you're gonna have other things, right? But the hallmark of a great, right, crypto investor, entrepreneur, right, person that succeeds, right, is that you do it even if you don't feel like doing it. Like, at the end of the day, I think that's a great way to put it, which is that not just for crypto but other areas, right, you've got to have the desire and you're going to integrate in your lifestyle if you're serious about it. All right, great. I love it. I think thanks so much for sharing so abundantly. So I guess the next question is something that maybe some of the audience will be a bit more excited to learn because of your years of experience, right? Getting rug pull, right? Knowing about the markets for such a long time, which is right now, so it's about 2022 August, right? Of 2022. So Jerry, what's your assessment? I think right now there's a lot of like ups, downs, right? People are not so sure. I think a lot of, Luna dropped like crazy. The a lot of exchanges are closing down. Like it's freaking chaotic, right? So I guess in your overall view, like what's your thoughts about the whole crypto market? Obviously, we're not here to predict, right? But just your overall assessment about the where do you think the future will lie, right? The next whether the next 3 to 6 months or even the next 3 to 5 years, right? For yourself, what are your assessment and thoughts about it?
Okay, my assessment for 3 to 5 years, I would see that whatever that is in the news right now, you see like the fallout for a lot of big exchanges. Luna is one of the fallout. And then after that, followed by the domino effects of other centralized exchange and blah, 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 right? So to me, I think it's a good chance to cleanse out the dirty laundry in the industry. That's number one. So with that, the innovations that gonna be cleaner in the future, in the next 3 to 5 years, will be better for the mass adoption. Number two, I feel that whatever that right now people are having a debate between regulations and all that. No, we must have a decentralization. To me, you cannot be too extreme, like in the like just now I say, right, like too little information cannot be done. Too much information also, you must find a middle ground. So in crypto, I feel that there must be a middle ground, and we are at that phase where we are working towards regulations and people economies, right? So we are integrating both ways. So we are at the prime year, I would say that we are trying to infuse that governance system together. So blockchain, no matter what, even if you like it or not, it's going to be there in the next 8 to 10 years. Even if they don't call it crypto in the future or NFT in the future, it's still going to be there. The technology is still going to be there. So the way I foresee it, like whatever the news that is now, it's not going to last. It's the same thing like when you look at 2017, when even any government, right, if you look at the mass media news channel, News Asia or whatever news, okay, maybe I shouldn't quote the news editorial, but whatever, you can just do your research and see all the news back then in 2017, 2018, 2019, all the regulators, all the governments, all the central bankings, they are against Bitcoin. But things changed in 2021. Right, last year, maybe late 2020s, they started to like change their opinions. So if big institution, big central banks, and even our government itself are trying to learn, okay, and change their perspective on certain innovations, why shouldn't we, right? Because they are also accepting that, okay, there's a way to work around this. Yeah, we have to accept it, whether we like it or not. It's gonna come, you cannot control it. Yeah, innovations will always come. So for me, the way I see crypto, it's gonna stay there. But whether you're gonna be getting the right kind of information to stay relevant to it, or the bad information, because no matter what, in any commodities, there is bad negative effects. So you have to just balance it out.
Nice. Yeah, what I'm hearing is now it's actually a good investing disguise that's consolidating a little bit, right? Government regulations are happening, right? People are working at the back end without all the hype, right? It's overrated, right? Distracting, right? And that your beliefs that eventually over time, right, crypto adoption, blockchain, whatnot, right, will continue to rise and soar. So I guess the big question on people's minds, right? Hey, Mimi, it sounds all good, right? But the question is, if I invest now, can I make similar kind of returns like in 2017, right? 2000, then 2020, right? So what are your thoughts about that, right? Have you say,
I
because
don't want
like,
to
I mean, like,
guarantee. I don't want to
general
guarantee.
disclaimer, of course, disclaimer, right? Everything here just for educational purpose. But what are your general thoughts? Or do you think that maybe it's possible, but maybe it'll be a lot more selective? Or like, what is general?
Okay. It
Yeah.
is possible, but not to all coins lah. Not to all altcoins like how you see in the wave of 2019 when DeFi just started, right? DeFi boom started. Okay. If in a period of this 1 to 1.5 years, I would say at best you are looking at like 2 to 5x. Okay. Even if you 2x, right, please don't dishearten, because I think that's a good profit. You know, in other commodities, it's very hard to even like flip 2x or 3x within a short time frame of 1 year. So I think in crypto, if you get 2x to 5x within these 1 to 1.5 years, don't be too greedy. Take it, take what the market give you. Yeah. But the way I see, like if you want to look at more like a 10x kind of thing. Okay, I don't want to say 100x because I don't think it's possible as compared to 2019, but like 10x onwards, yeah, I would say a long term of maybe give it 2 to 3 years onwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so I think that's a good grounding, right? That you can't expect to have those 100x, right? Where 0.0001 to suddenly like $10, right? It's pretty sick, right? Last time, right? Some of the crazy things that people are talking about.
But I wouldn't say it's not possible.
Yeah, I mean, but it's, I guess, the right now with more regulations, people are more grounded, people are more educational, right? Like if you expect those sort of returns, you might be very disappointed, like I said. That's why it's a lot of grounding over there. So if I could twist your arm a little bit, Mimi, right? Which is next 3 to 5 years, right? Like what are some of the sectors that you are personally looking at, a bit more excited about, right? That you feel that really have potential, maybe not for 10, 20x guaranteed, but you feel that there's a potential that the entire sector would grow, and things that maybe you personally are looking at a bit more excited about in the crypto blockchain space?
Okay, for me, I'm excited to the layer 2 in the blockchain. So wait, let me give you a reference.
The portfolio, no lah, joking.
No, I mean like I think people can, if they search layer 2 coins, right, they can really know like what other coins are gonna like last in the next 3 to 4 years, right? 3 years at least. 3 years. 2 years actually enough. Okay, so layer 2 would be number 1. I would say POS, like whatever the Ethereum 2.0 is doing, is already in the midst of getting there. But I would say layer 2 and also the play to earn game, although it's a little bit dying now. But gaming industry a bit subjective lah, but I think in the next 5 years, 4 to 5 years, it will work.
Okay. Yeah,
it will work.
The actual fun games will be there, right? But not the games, not say the most fun lah, huh? That's what I hear.
Yeah. It's more on the interface, but I would say layer 2, and I wouldn't say metaverse, but more to like, for example, if you guys look at Illivium, ILV coin, I think it's one of the good projects out there that really integrate their face according to the timeline that they say.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think ILV is a good investment.
So that's low bang. Okay, educational purposes. Okay. Disclaimer. Okay. So I think thanks for sharing. Right? I think two things. Right? I think I do agree. I think play to earn games, the challenge is, I think there's a lot of hype because of XC, right? And it was just a very new thing. But then people. Ultimately the games weren't that fun to me lah, right? So that's what I tried out some others. And then there was what was the other one?
Layer 2 coins.
Because they're supporting the entire ecosystem, right, of the editions. Okay, so I think thanks so much for sharing so openly, right? I think you're really just like revealing it, right? Whatever that's on your mind. I guess probably the last question, right, which is if let's say a crypto investor, maybe didn't invest so far, right? New or someone who is very stuck, lost, and starting completely from scratch, or wants to start completely from scratch again, what do you think would be the first 2 to 3 major actions, right, you feel that the person would really do in the next 30 days, right, to kind of like do a mini reset of the journey, right? Or in other words, like what would you do if you had to start over your journey again, right now as a crypto investor, not only to become where you are today, right, but to maybe bounce back, right, in the next 5, 10, 20 years time, right, for their financial freedom?
Okay, number one, invest in education first. The problem with people coming into crypto, right? They just want to get the gains first. And then when they lost the money, they don't know what to do. So I think number one, invest in the education first. Second, once you choose already who you want to learn with from, um, get into the right number. Meaning, like for example, get the basic knowledge, like get the basic needs first. What I mean is that, for example, like if you enter the space, right, you got to sort the portfolio according to different basket. Cannot just come in and then, yeah, I want to learn investing, so I got this $500 or $5,000. Okay, which coin should I pump in? You know, that is like a very standard newbie person who asks, like, if I got 5,000 today, what should I buy today? It shouldn't be like that. It should be like, okay, this 5,000, how can I delegate it properly? Like basket one, basket two, basket three. Because basket one should be a long term. Basket two is the short term, like now, like bear season right now, right? You have to accumulate. So how do you accumulate? You need to learn how to do technical analysis, for example, right? So and then after that, three is like get to know which one that you are more passionate about. Because in the crypto market, there's a lot of things you can learn. You can learn about crypto, you can learn about the gaming, you can learn about coding, you can learn about NFT. You know, like there's a lot of even in the crypto market itself, there's a lot of industry, small sectors. The pie is very, very small. So you have to like delegate your attention or your passion to maybe one thing first. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then after that, once you get in depth into it, and then you can start to meddle into the other sectors. Because the
Yeah.
problem with people, they want to grab everything, you know, like in
Mm.
2021, right? Oh, I just heard about Dogecoin. Yeah, I want to invest in Dogecoin.
Mm.
Now after that, when people talk about NFT, I want to buy this JPEG.
Yeah.
You know, like it's all over the place. Like they don't even have time to pause and
Mm.
see, you know, that, oh my God, this industry actually got a lot of things going on. You
Mm.
know, yeah. So you, first of all, yeah, like just now I said, first get the education first, and then after that, know what you want. Is it for short term base, long term, or is it for accumulation, fast cash flow? After you know what you want already on your pot, then third, get into in depth into which one you want to learn more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then invest. Yeah, I think the main message, right, of this is first you need to go ground yourself first to not get
Right.
cut off all the news or the FOMO or the hype, right? First, be clear of what you want, right? Your strategy towards getting there first before you enter the whole war zone, lah, right? Of the charts,
Yeah.
numbers, the coins, right? Which can be quite overwhelming. So if you're new, right, I think what Mimi said is extremely important, which is don't try to jump in blindly, lah, right? But come in from the space of grounding, intention, strategy, right? And that's how you can succeed, lah, right? If not, the likelihood of you getting caught up the whole buzz and hype can be very crazy, and a lot of my close friends have got caught up with it as well. So I think that's something, a very important lesson to learn, especially, right, if you have the luxury of doing it and starting out right now. Yeah, so if not, thank you so much, Mimi. I think that's been a great interview, right? I think a lot of folks can benefit. So I guess the last thing is, any last words for the audience over here, right, who might be a bit nervous about the markets, they're not so sure what to do, right? And where can they find you, right? They want to find out more about how can learn from you as well.
Okay. One thing, if you're afraid of what is happening in the market, I think you should just calm down. Because I think the world, everyone is suffering right now, but it's not the end of the world. Okay. And you know that every time when the market picks up again, suddenly you hear all the rich people, don't know from where, suddenly appear, right? All the millionaires, billionaires. So then you have to like think back. Oh, okay, where are these millionaires suddenly came about? Like, where are they from? So you need to track back. Oh, they actually are coming from the season like now, when everybody's panicking, everybody's like, oh, you know, the world gonna end, this and that. Yeah, so now is the time for you to like, actually, I can make some good investment for myself to be those millionaires or whatever that aspire you. Okay. So right now I feel that for people, if you want to look for sources of like fundamentals, the basic, you really don't know where to start. I think my academy is like the best for people who like really don't know where to start, like in crypto. Like really don't know, like even don't have a coin to even begin with, or don't know how which exchange to start with. So for that level, I think my academy is best to perform for these people. So if you want to find us, you can we have few free contents that you can follow. Telegram group, our Telegram channel is one. Our Instagram post. You can also follow me on Instagram because sometimes I post on my story.
Lobang,
Cryptological. I do share it sometimes. And also my IG, Cryptological's IG, right? We have a lot of like content bite sizes where you can actually read, on your free time. Or also if you go in that on that page, there's like certain free offers that you can actually go and click and download and go and read it on your own time. And then for Telegram, it's more on the discussion on what is happening right now and as it goes. So I think there's a few ways for you guys to get the free content from Cryptologicals first, and then slowly learn from there lah. And then maybe if you're interested, then come into our program.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for being so abundant. So like when free resources, I think it's powerful, right? To get started, right, in the journey, right? Whereas in the Telegram, right, Instagram, right, and whatnot, and the Academy, right? I think over there some free resources as well. So do check out. I'll put the links right over there in the description, right? But if not, thank you so much again, Mimi. Right, pleasure having you on. Maybe we should have you come more often for more up to date news. No lah, joking, right? But anyway, thanks again, right? And for the rest, watching, if you share on the comments your biggest lesson, right? If not, we'll see you again for the next edition of the Master Mentors interviews. Thanks, Mimi, and thanks everyone. Bye.